All right, so here we are with Saga. Just finishing up, I think, what are we at? Just around the 7th week-ish, somewhere around there. 6.5, 7 weeks. So the main focus with her this time around as she come back is just really working on, one, getting her back in shape, of course, and then building strength, and really focusing on straightness and having her feel like she's moving through the body from behind and really having the feeling like she's going somewhere, like the energy's flowing from behind through the back and out the front. She has a tendency sometimes, well, quite often her tendency is to get a little crooked. The hindquarters will go one direction, the rib cage goes another direction, and then the head and the neck is going yet another direction. And she's kind of wiggly and wobbly all over the place. And so just been kind of really trying to focus on the straightness and having her work a little bit more evenly through both sides of the body as much as we can up and, you know, with the strength that she has. But the strength is getting better. There's some nice development in her body already, and everything is starting to become better and just feel better overall. So, you know, when she starts off and she's got her hindquarters here and her ribs here and her head and neck here, that also, you can see that show up in her crest as well. It's, you know, at the base here by the withers, it might be going one direction and then it's tipped over to the side in the middle and back the other way in the other direction. It's kind of all over the place. And that is now starting to even out more as she works better through both sides of the body and kind of a little straighter, travels a bit straighter, pushes a little more evenly, carries a little bit more with the hind legs, you know, and then we can make the adjustments that we would like to make in the hindquarters and the ribs and then the shoulders and kind of bring everything into a better alignment. So that has been the bulk of the work up until now, just a real focus on that. Walk, trot, canter, and just trying to encourage her to be a little bit more even. She likes to step in or out with the hindquarters and kind of put the body in 3 or 4 different positions and places that make it a little easier for her to travel, in the sense that she can just sort of move around without really having to work through the body or carry much. So it's easier in that regard, and then it just kind of becomes a postural habit that she carries around. But the downside to that is that she starts to obviously move more and more crooked, and then, you know, down the road and in the future there's potential for soundness issues, or just not using herself in a way that's more efficient, or in a way that helps her last longer soundness wise. And she just sort of, the crookeder they move and longer like that, they tend to break themselves down moving. So if we can start to encourage her to move in a better way, we can then perpetuate that, that she moves better and stays in a sounder body for longer. So just let her trot around here a little bit. I'm just going to come a little lighter in my seat, just so she feels she can bring the back up a little. Just want to feel that she starts to step a little bit more evenly from the hind leg to my hand without running through. Start to bend her through my body, get her to pay a little bit of attention and mirror what my body is doing. Start to encourage the hind legs to step a little over, sideways and forwards, and just kind of get the body working a little more productively right from the start. Just trying to work to where I feel that swing start to come through. And she kind of braces a little bit and just goes through all the normal young horse kind of stuff. And we're just going to continue to work on her and work on some exercises that encourage a little more evenness through the body, trying to work on that length in the neck so that she doesn't feel shortened. And so if you think back to the beginning training last year, and some of the things that I talked about, her tendency when she gets a little bothered by something, or if something is uncomfortable for her, like the clippers or the fly spray or the stuff that we worked on, then her tendency is to back away from it, you know, and kind of shrink away from those moments that are a bit uncomfortable. Good girl. And that's kind of the tendency that she has in the ridden work as well. She starts to move, but she feels like she's moving with a little bit of a hesitation and just kind of holding back in the body a little bit. So although it feels okay, come, that's it. It feels all right, you know, it's nothing really wrong. But when we start to get her to open up and let go just a little bit more, there we go. We get to a little next level of movement. And then she feels like she starts to move forward more. Forward through the body, forward with a better energy, forward with a better intention. Good. Start to ride the shoulders up a little bit. A little forward. And trying to help her find that balance between forward and rushing. Good. Start to challenge her a little bit with a little bits of lateral work and just asking a little more difficult questions from her. Come. Good. Not looking for those lateral movements to be perfect because she's not quite there yet, but we can start to ask her a little bit more. Yeah. Even though it's a bit difficult for her. That's it. We just kind of stay in the moment there, keep working softly and just asking her to try a little bit more. Super. And then ride out of it. That's it. Good. And come a little up off of her back and just go a little bit forward here. Good. Just feeling those moments of where I can bring her focus a little bit more to her body, if it's a little bit in the ribs or a little bit in the shoulders, a little bit on the hind leg, a little bit on the flexion left or right. Good. Good. Sit a little on the left hind here. Bring the left hind under. Good. And forward. And left hind. Little right bend. Good for you. So because these horses, they have a fairly strong sense of right or wrong, they're fairly opinionated, so if they feel that you're asking them something that is unfair, or sometimes if it's just they deem it to be unfair because it's a little bit difficult for them, they can put up a bit of a fuss when you start to ask. There. Sometimes put up a little bit of a fuss when you start to ask for some more difficult work. And she certainly will. And even, a week or so ago, she would protest a little bit more, even for things that she's capable of doing, but she's just a little uncomfortable with. That's the stuff. Good girl. So we're getting to a point now where we can start to work a little bit more. We can ask a little bit more. We can challenge. Come on. That. Good. And then we can go out. Girl. So she's a little, you know, she's sensitive, she's intelligent, she's got all of the things that make her fun to work with. But those are also the things that can make them very challenging to work with. But also if we just sort of plod around and trot around the long side and don't really do much and don't ask them, come, bend, think. That's it. I know it's difficult, yep. Super, and let's go. If we don't start to challenge these guys sometimes within reason, of course, then they can start to really just kind of get bored, kind of tune out. Good. So as long as we keep our requests reasonable and fair, then it's fair to expect that they give us a pretty nice effort, and they will. I mean, you know, the work might be difficult. The exercises they might not understand completely. So there'll be stiffnesses and braces and resistances that come in. But we just kind of keep working at it, chipping away at it, and it gets easier and easier. And all these things are difficult until they're not, and then we move on to the next thing that's a little bit challenging, and we work there. Good girl. Good for you, good. So we can turn up the intensity from time to time, and then we can dial it back down, and then we can turn it up, and we can dial it down. We don't want to expect Grand Prix kind of movements out of her. But we can certainly go into those areas a little bit, have her feel a little bit different in the body, start to understand that maybe there's a little bit more there, that she's capable of a bit more. Good for you. Good girl. All right. Okay, you ready? Ready? Wait. That's it. Wait. Okay, wait. Good. Good. Come on. Yep. There we go. That's it. I'll just ride a little light in my seat here. Very nice. Very good. Super. Good for you. So then something that I talk a lot about is as the speed goes up, the balance goes down in the beginning. When the balance goes down, little bits of tensions and uncertainty creep in. And then when those moments come in, then it's easy to kind of fall back into the old habits of moving and thinking. So we worked quite a bit in the canter of having that feeling where she's really just kind of rolling in the canter, coming over a little bit of the jump that's in there. and have her feeling like she's, not that she's taking us somewhere in a negative way, like she's kind of pulling through us, but that she's kind of leading this dance a little bit, and she's really like, hey, let's go here, come with me, come with me. And it's again, it's not the feeling that she's like, I'm going here and you got to come with me. It's like, now she really feels like she's starting to understand how to move through the body in a better way, in a straighter way, and really get that wave, feeling of that wave coming from the hindquarters, under the saddle, up the withers, through the withers, and out the neck and the poll. That's it. Super. Good. Yep. Left hind. Left hind. Good for you. Left hind. Super. And then we'll go out. That's it. That's good. That's it. Yeah, good. And then just help her again find that balance between a little too forward and flat and unbalanced. That's it. Good. We had to work a lot on this right hind being underneath, because she likes to step out with the right hind and then push behind herself with it more, and then fall down diagonally on the left shoulder. So tucking that right hind is a bit of a struggle for her even yet. It's weaker because it hasn't been carrying much, just in her normal day-to-day way of going. So I step the right hind under a little bit here and have it start to carry a little bit more. As it starts to carry a bit more, super. Because it starts to carry more and not push out behind, then the left shoulder lightens as a result of that. When the left shoulder lightens a little bit and comes up, then I get a little bit more access to the left rib cage, so I can create bend. Then we can go forward a bit from the right hind. That's it. That's it. You ready? Okay. Then she likes to throw that right hind out and take the left or the right canter. So this might be, we'll work on this here. Yeah. Take your time. Think about it. Yeah. 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 Okay, you ready? There we go. That's it. Keep the right hind underneath. That's it. Come. Yeah. Super. That right hind. Right hind. Thank you. Very good. So the transition is a little sticky yet, but the canter itself is much better than what she would naturally kind of default to when the right hind starts to drift out. And then when it goes a little wide like this and it steps, pushes out behind her more, then she diagonally pushes down on this left shoulder. Thank you. Yeah. So just working on, yeah, being able to access the right hind. That's it. Step it around. And create that bend. That's right. It's pretty hot today, so I'm getting some sweat going already. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. She's really kind of focused and thinking and just trying to sort out what it is. All right, bring the shoulder around. Yep. Good. And right hind. Step, good. Right hind. Yeah. And she's just kind of going through all the options, trying to find an answer. Right hind. Right hind. Super. That's right. That's right. Right hind. Yep, that's it. Good. Slow it down. Yes, good. Flies are bugging her too, so I don't think she's reacting to my leg there more than she's just reacting to the bugs. Maybe a little bit of both. Good girl. Good. Yeah. Bugs, hey? Where are they? Let's go for a little walk. Good girl. Yeah, so this is kind of the stuff that we just been working on along with the other, been working on her lunging as well. So she has a little better a little better handle on all of that when you go for the revision. Getting her out and riding her outside as much as we can when the weather is decent. It's been, if it's not cooking hot, it's raining it seems, but maybe we're getting into a little bit better weather for that. So like I said, it's pretty hot today too, so I won't really, the bugs are starting to bother her more, so maybe we won't do a whole lot more along those lines, but that's kind of where we're headed to, and just kind of continuing to build that strength. And as she goes along each week and gets a little bit stronger and a little bit better mentally focused on just being back into work and kind of putting her efforts into that, as opposed to getting a little bit out of holiday mode. So all of these pieces are starting to come together a little bit more. Good girl. Yeah, good. Super. Good girl. Yeah, good for you. And just work her a little bit on just kind of settling and relaxing a little bit, letting kind of that adrenaline sort of dissipate out of her that she gets built up a little bit through the work. Just kind of, again, just kind of going back to what we worked on a lot the first time around when she was here to get started, just helping her understand that when she gets a little amped up and the adrenaline starts to flow, that she can kind of take a deep breath and manage herself a little bit and relax and let down in those situations and not just kind of continue to build. So just giving her a few moments here to just sort of try to walk and take some deep breaths and just kind of slow her thoughts down a little bit, and trying to ride her in a way that through my body and my seat that I can encourage her to let go in the body and swing through the back a little bit more, and try not to manage her from the rein so she doesn't feel restricted and short and create tension that way. And that's, it's not something that she finds easy to do, and it's a fair bit of work on our part to help her with that. But as we continue and the more consistency she has and the longer she stays in work, and you know, it just starts to become easier and easier. But we're just sort of on the path now of being back to getting a little bit back to where we were the last time around when she was here. And then once we get back to that stage, then we can start to, very good, that's it, yep, good for you. Just keep moving my seat here. She's kind of wanting to have a little rest there and stop. So I'm just going to keep a little bit of movement in my seat and just see if I can help encourage her to keep swinging through her hips behind the saddle by moving my hips, and in those moments when she kind of wants to stiffen and brace, just seeing if I can swing her into a little bit of softness here in the walk. And she actually responded really quite nice there a couple of times, so it's super. That's it. That's it. So the more that we can really kind of get her to focus on these feelings that she's getting from the seat. Very nice, yeah. And the less she starts to feel like we're trying to manage her from the face, the happier she is, the more relaxed she is, the better she feels. She's able to kind of keep the neck out long and not feel like we're restricting it, even though we're just trying to help her either slow down or, you know, whatever we may be trying to do. The less we can do from the hand, the more they respond to it, and the happier they are. But sometimes it's a fair bit of work on our part, especially in the beginning, to encourage that. Yeah. That's it. Good. Are y'all ready? I'm just recording, but you can come in. You got your helmet? Good. Good job. Good. You can go ahead and put it on. Good girl. Good.